All right, so I wanted to go over a few setup things for you guys with the template. So this is the template. It has images and profiles from those images as examples for you to follow, so you can take a look at them and see how they work. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to sort of create one and bring it through the process. What I would recommend that you guys do is just make a copy of this up above and have that for an example up above, and then use the blank area below to populate with yours. So I would just come over here and window around all this stuff, and however you want to copy it up, right? I'm just holding down the Alt and the up arrow and copying that above. And then what we want to do is, for my purposes, I'm going to bring in some images that I'm using for my section. And then I want to erase most of the figures that are the example figures so I can replace them with our figures, right? The ones that you're going to make. So what you can do is turn off the text. So this is the text layer right here. And so if you come over and it's down at the bottom, I believe. Want to have it. There it is. So you can turn off the text, right? And then you want to turn off this layer, right? Which is, I can't remember what that layer is, so we'll take a look. It's the def points layer. So if you go find the def points layer right here, you can turn those off, right? And so that just leaves you with the rest of it, and you can just come in here and delete that, and then delete that guy and delete that guy, and we'll keep the Campo Marzio since that's the one that we're all going to be using. And then you can turn your pieces back on and you kind of have a little blank file. A couple other things I wanted to talk about before we get going is the white background. So right now, if you go to, we're in the top, it's set to Arctic. So if you get a wireframe, you have your gray background, but you can go to Arctic and it'll give you a white background. You can also create your own custom backgrounds if you want to, and if you're interested in that, I can point you in the right direction. The other thing I was going to mention is, I'll just go back to wireframe so you have your basic gray background for Rhino, is that the grid is also turned off. The grid, there's multiple ways to get to this, but you can just type in options, right? And if you go to grid, you'll see that the show grid lines has been turned off, right? So you can do that as well for your viewports, but we're going to work in the Arctic, right? So go ahead and do that and kind of get things set up and do a file save as. So I'll do a save as, and I'll save this 3ms working. Okay, so now you have the original template and you also have this guy. You could just do a save as and delete them, but it might be nice to have these in the same format or in the same model as the other stuff. So finally, you have a series of layers that we're going to use, and if we, let me go ahead and make this larger so you can see it. They have line weight set to them, so we're going to use that along with a couple other commands to look at line weight previous to exporting to Adobe Illustrator, just to kind of get you ahead of the game. And then over here you have kind of each one of those lines set up. So if I were to pick this one and go to the objects, that's the cut line, right? That's the cut section detail, and we'll look at those a little bit more closely when we get back, so it's a part of the template. All right,